Oopsie. Okay. Let's see if this is working. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi, hello everyone. Okay.
السلام عليكم.
طيب
Is it clear now? Can you hear me?
طيب.
Yes, hi. Suzanne, how are
Hi,
you?
I'm trying to log in.
Okay, you're in already. You're in.
But where is the screen? Where's the other things?
I think you need to make a few adjustments. Switch off or swap your camera with the screen so you can see me.
Let me see, because I'm not familiar with this application, so I need to figure it out.
Yeah, just make a few adjustments, and I think you'll be able to see me in a bit.
Say it here. Hold on a second. Say it here.
Yeah, can you see me now? I think you just swapped your camera. You flipped your camera.
Okay, now I can see you.
Okay. Hi.
Hi, how are you, Suheil?
Good, good. How are you doing?
So,
okay. Yeah. So today
have you started?
No, I haven't started yet. No, not yet. I'm just making a few adjustments on. Is my sound clear? Can you hear my voice? Is it clear?
Yeah, it's perfect. Not clear, perfect. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, that's great.
As you know that I love to speak. I don't like to write. I don't like to read.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. So luckily today, actually, because even one of the friends, she asked what I'm doing today. So I thought speaking would be a good idea, because yesterday we did some reading. So today I think we are going to do a little bit of speaking and talk about what you can do to make sure that you get a good band score in speaking if you're doing an IELTS test, your IELTS exam.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about this
you.
today. Yeah. By the way,
Sorry.
Fizani, let me introduce you to the class. We have some very good students here, and actually some of them have done the IELTS test, and some of them have got over 7 in their results. So so we have some very good strong students here. Okay, let me check this.
All the cams, all the other friends, their cams are off. I don't know where the others. I don't. It's showing like me and you, Suhaib, and 2 other students.
No, I actually have 9. We have 9 students, but most of them I think are a little shy because you're talking too much, and so everybody's quiet now. That's why.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Okay, so now, sorry?
When the class will start?
Now, it's going to start now. I'm just getting to my books, so I'm going to share them on the screen. So you'll see them now on the screen. Okay, so here's the book. So we're going to use the same. It seems that
you are in your room, I think.
It seems what?
It seems like you are in your room, your private room.
Yes.
Because I'm familiar with your house. I've been there for many times.
Yes, you're right. Yes, this is my bedroom. Yes, it's easier here. Okay.
Okay, so
yes.
Give me 1 minute. I will leave everything on. I'm gonna to do something like quickly 5 minutes. Be right back. Okay. Just
okay.
2 minutes or 3 minutes.
No problem. Take your time. Back. Okay. Okay, guys. So here the book's ready. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about speaking. Okay, so speaking is one of the parts of the IELTS exam that maybe is not the most difficult one, but you can lose marks. You can lose unnecessary marks if you don't pay attention to a few general tips. Okay, so so I'm going to show you the mock exam here. I'm going to jump right to the speaking module, so you can have a look. So let's think of the speaking today just as a warm-up, okay? I just want you to get relaxed because I understand people can get a little nervous online, and so and some of you maybe are a little shy because you don't know one another. So I'm going to try to sort of break the ice a little bit and give you a chance to introduce yourselves. So here, let me do this. So it says, Fatima, doctor, make sure that the new attendees unmute their app. Maybe they're oblivious to the fact that they can't unmute. I mean, you generally speaking. Okay, so what Fatima said here is right. That's exactly what I hope to do. Safa says, I can't hear anything. Okay, so please, if you can hear me, even if you don't want to unmute your mics, just type in the chat. Just type in the chat section, say something, just type something, and just to let me know that that you can hear me, because Fizani said he can hear me. I don't know about the rest of you. Fatma seems to be able to hear me.
The voice is clear.
Okay, I also can hear me. Great. Okay, so this means, so let me type to Safa. Is she still here? Let's see if she's out of the room. Okay, she's out. Okay. Anyway, so this means the voice, my mic is working. This is the important point. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. I can hear you clearly, actually.
Wa alaikum salam. Okay,
yeah.
Fatima. Yes, thanks.
Welcome.
Thanks for the heads up. Okay, good. So so let's talk a little bit. Let's introduce ourselves first. Let's break the ice. Okay. So of course I'm Suhaib, or obviously I'm Dr. Sue from the page, so I don't think I should do much introduction. But for those who don't know me, I've been teaching for about, I think, is it 10, 11 years, since 2009. I did my IELTS in 2013, and I did the IELTS, I did it after a CELTA course, which is a certificate of English teaching language for adults. It's from Cambridge, and it's a teaching course. Basically, it was available here in Libya up to 2014. There are a number of teachers who did it. It's quite good, and it's an international certificate that allows you basically to teach anywhere in the world. So I wanted to do the IELTS as a challenge. I didn't really need to, at that point in 2013, I didn't really need to do it, but my goal was to get a 9 in all the IELTS parts, in all the modules. I wanted to get 9 in all of them. And I remember our instructor, our CELTA instructor, he was a professor. He said, I don't want to put you down, but he said it can be a little bit difficult to get 9 in all the modules. I didn't get 9 in all the modules. I got 9 in reading and listening. In speaking, I got 8, and in writing, I got 7.5. It's still good because the overall average was 8.5, but it just goes to show that even if you're a teacher,
How about the reading, right?
The reading was 9. The reading and listening, I think you can get a 9. It's possible with really focused practice, especially if you're already in the upper intermediate, let's say in the advanced more. If you're already in the advanced level, C1, C2, with some drilling, some practice, 9 is achievable in listening and in reading. You can get a full 9 with the right practice. With writing, however, it's another story. Writing can be tricky, and the 7.5 I got in 2013, this was before I learned lots of, there are so many things I wish I knew back then when I was doing my test in 2013, because I didn't know them in writing. So I don't want today's lesson to be about writing, because writing is really, really detailed, and there are very, very little specific things. So I wanted to start with speaking, and before we do the speaking, get to know each other. So this is a little background information about me. So so let's hear a little short introduction, just each person.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me get my headset. I get back, huh?
Okay.
1 minute.
All right. Okay. So you can start before he comes back, because if he talks, he'll take lots of time. So who would like to talk first?
Dr. Suhaib.
Yes.
It's Fatima here.
Hi, Fatima.
Hi. I was one of the attendees the other week when you showed us the certificate of your IELTS result.
Okay.
Mashallah, 9 overall. It's just great. But I know this question is off topic a little bit. I saw your certificate, and it was written that your citizenship is Brazilian, I think.
Yes.
So do you speak Portuguese?
Pouco. Eu falo pouco português. Sim.
I don't speak any Portuguese, by
You
the way.
don't? I thought you did. Yeah, I speak a little bit of Portuguese. Yes, I do. My Portuguese is sort of conversational. It's nowhere as good as my English. My Portuguese is, let's say, if we're doing the levels, maybe it's elementary B, pre-intermediate A. So in everyday language, I don't have a problem. I can go shopping. I can talk to friends.
So you can make a whole conversation with the...
Yes, I can make a conversation.
The normal conversation.
Yeah, normal basic conversations with mistakes, with grammatical errors, but I have no problem understanding. The problem is when I speak, it's not as good as I want it to be. So yes, because I was born in Brazil. My father was a student when I was born, so I was born in Brazil.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, so go ahead. You can tell us a little bit about yourself if you want to start, Fatima, or if someone else wants to start. Tell us a little bit about your background in English. Thank you. Thank you. My excellent results. And tell us why you want to learn, or at least why you want to get the IELTS, why you want to get a good band score? This is, I think, the proper question here.
Hello, Dr. So.
Hi, Safa. Hi.
Yeah, this is Safa with you. It's my first time attending your class here, your lesson.
All right, good to have you here.
Is it your first lesson or you had some previous lesson before?
No, we've had a few lessons in the past. We had a full free week, and yesterday we also had 2 lessons. We had an IELTS prep lesson. It was in reading. This was yesterday. So we've had a few before this.
Oh, sounds nice. Okay, actually, it's my first class with you, and I hope it will not be the last one. I really want to to sit for the IELTS exam. I have never had the chance before. My background in English is actually so far it's good. I went to Malaysia before, and I studied in ALS until after intermediate, I guess. But after that, I graduated from Unitarian International University, majoring in TESOL, which is teaching English for speakers of other languages. And I have never had the chance to take IELTS. So basically, I want to start with you.
That's great news. That's excellent. So you've got sort of all the basic building blocks there, and this is good news for someone who's planning on taking the IELTS. That's good.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I hope you'll be back, and I hope you enjoyed this little sort of mix of speaking introduction and a little bit about IELTS. So hope you'll be back, Safa, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, so who else would like to tell us a little bit about themselves and a little background info? Who do we have here? Aya, would you like to go ahead? Tell us a little bit about your background in English and maybe why you want to, because Aya has done the mock test and actually has scored some very, she's got some very...
I get back again.
Okay, welcome back.
Thanks.
All right, so we were just introducing ourselves, and I think Aya maybe is busy, she's not talking. But if someone else wants to talk, tell us a little bit about themselves, feel free.
Dr. Suheil.
Yes?
This is Fatima again.
Hi, Fatima.
Hi. First of all, I'm a medical graduate.
Uh-huh.
Okay. As you, right?
Yes.
You're a medical graduate as well.
That's correct.
Okay. So I want to do IELTS to continue my abroad studies, inshallah. I'm a teaching assistant as well.
That's good.
College. Yeah, but here's the thing. My written English is just, I wouldn't say excellent, but it's so good, you know. But my spoken English is not, actually. Maybe because of the lack of practice. I don't speak it often. You know, we're living in basically an Arabic speaking, community.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't have the chance often to speak English, and if you add the stress factor, okay, I start pausing, mumbling, and yeah, that's why I really want to practice my English as much as possible. I know, by the way, my vocabulary range is good as well. I'm working on it continuously, but the fluency is not as good as my vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Fatma, I think if you want to practice your English, you can use Hello Talk app. It's really good. You can meet a lot of people that in the same level with you. You can practice speaking with them.
Okay.
Great advice. That's excellent
Safa,
advice.
I think.
Yeah, Safa.
Right.
From Safa.
Thank you, Dr. Safa. I don't know if you're a doctor or not, but thanks.
No, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor, but I hope so in the future.
She's a language doctor, because that is perfect advice.
Yeah, I'm a language doctor.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So that's good news, Fatma, with your background. The medical background does help a bit, I think. Maybe with vocabulary range, it does help. Maybe with conversation, like you said, not so much because of lack of practice. But I think there are ways.
About studying medicine and you know, link it to learning English as well. I think, yeah, it helps me a lot, you know, being a doctor or a medical graduate, because a lot of topic related vocabulary, you know, in IELTS, for example, about health and medicine. So we are familiar with those vocabulary, as you know.
That's true, but there's something else to keep in mind, because what they do with the IELTS topics, whether in listening or even in reading, the thing is they use what's called general academic English. So general academic English, it does include medical or health related topics, but it also includes geology, it includes architecture, it includes accounting, it includes business.
But they share etymology, right? Most of it is Latin, I think.
If we're speaking
so we're
about...
familiar too about the prefixes, you know, Latin prefixes.
Yes, Latin and Greek.
You can guess the meaning sometimes. You can guess the meaning. It happens.
Correct. Yes. This is a sort of advantage. It is an advantage that maybe people from a medical background have, the etymology of the word, the origin of a word, because most words in English are usually either from Latin or from, some of them are from Greek, not a lot, but either Latin, because English is an Anglo-Saxon language, and it has lots of loan words from Latin, especially from French, from the Norman times.
French, yes.
Yeah, so there are many words in common. But my point here is in the IELTS test, because this is a common complaint, by the way, maybe not from a higher level students like yourselves here in this room, but from maybe from students who are a little lower in experience, maybe pre-intermediate students and intermediate students, when they see, for example, a health related article in IELTS and they are engineers, or the opposite, for example, if a doctor sees some kind of topic about accounting or business, the first complaint I get is, this is too technical. I'm not an engineer. This is about engineering. It's not my specialty. I can't answer it. But this is not a good enough excuse in IELTS, because the language they use is called general academic. What this means is, this is for everyone. For everyone who's in university, basically. Everyone who's in a university, who has a university level education, should be able to understand this. It's not specific. It doesn't contain jargon. So for example, if it's a medical topic, you will find that they will say heart disease. They will not say cardiomyopathy. They will not say myoglobinemia. They won't use these words. And if they use them, they explain what they are right after they use them. So they don't use jargon, technical words. They don't use field-specific words. So if they're talking about engineering or electricity or physics, they don't use words that only physicists understand. They'll use words that everybody understands. This is sort of the idea. So a scientific background maybe gives a bit of an advantage, but I don't know if it's a complete advantage, but it could help. I think it could help.
Dr.
Yes.
Suhaib,
Yeah.
mentioning the word jargon.
Sorry.
Okay, just
Okay.
a minute.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
Okay, take your time, because I just want to know how the protocol for speaking, I think, would turn, or I don't know.
It's by turn. You can have your turn,
okay.
because I'm about to finish with Fatma's segment here.
Okay, I'm really sorry for interrupting. Okay, go keep going.
It's okay. I just wanted to say that mentioning jargon, is it jargon or jargon? I used to say jargon, by the way.
No, it's jargon. RRG. I'll type JARGON. Jargon. Jargon.
Yeah, I know it, but maybe with mispronounced it.
No, it's jargon.
There's also an idiomatic expression when you say people talking shop. Do you know it?
No, this one I don't. Talking shop?
When you talk shop, basically you're talking about your with your colleague, for example, about if you're doctors, so you're talking about medicine in front of someone who has no medical background.
Yes.
So you're talking jargon.
Yeah, this is the idea, talking jargon. Yeah. So
Okay,
you're
talk shop.
Talk shop. Now this one I don't know the expression.
Okay.
Okay, so Fizani, let's hear it from you, our most
Hold on a second.
enthusiastic
Hold on a second, sir.
guest. Okay.
Okay. What do you want me to say? I don't know, because they introduced themselves about their field and their specialist. So what do you want? Can you ask me and I can reply easily?
Yeah. You can tell us about your background in English, or why you want to learn English, or why you like to learn English, or how you learned all this English.
Got it. Okay, got it. About the English, I pick it up from the street. You know that I don't like reading. I don't like writing. I don't like reading. My strongest side is speaking. It is speaking. Okay, I don't like when I write. I don't like when I read the books. Whatever. This is not my cup of tea. Okay, what I like most, I like to speak with the people, making a conversation. So that's
Communication.
okay. And what you want me to introduce myself? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Please introduce yourself.
I've started learning English since 2011. I think I've studied in Malta for 6 months. Then I got a group to speak with them in English. So that's it. I think if you ask me, I think it works better.
Tell them about your short
About IELTS.
About IELTS. About how you went crazy with the listening.
Okay. About IELTS, about the first, because it consists of four: the writing and reading and listening and reading. To be honest, I don't like reading and writing. Okay, but what I like speaking and I like listening. Before I tried listening.
I think you've got a problem with your mic, Zani. Maybe you muted it. Can you unmute your mic? We can't hear you anymore. Okay, now it's unmuted. Can you speak?
Yes.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
I've tried.
Okay, it's mute again now.
Now I'm okay with the listening. I just got 20, 24, 27, 28, then
okay.
Full marks. Sorry.
The line is
no, I think you're maybe you're pressing the mute button without meaning to.
You speak to me, Suhaib, or you speak to someone else?
Now we can hear you. I was speaking to you, Fizani, because
because it was calling, interrupting the conversation.
Okay.
That's why.
Yeah, you said last thing we heard was you got 28 in listening from 28 from 40.
This is the highest score that I got.
Okay, that's excellent. 28 is 6.5, I think, right? 6.5.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
because
yes, my weakness point in reading and then writing. I don't know. Should practice more with you, Suhaib.
Yeah, sure. If you were here yesterday, you would have caught up a little bit with the true, false, not given question.
What you did yesterday? You did some reading.
Yeah, we did some reading and we focused on the true, false, not given question. And reading, okay. we did a couple of texts and we talked a little bit about some of the tips or some of the things you can do to maybe get a better score with the true, false, not given.
Okay, that's good, probably. Okay, so that's me. As I told you, Suhaib, I love reading. I love speaking, and with the listening. But then other things that like writing and reading, I need to work, and I need to work hard to done this stuff.
All right, all right. Thanks, Vizani, for your little introduction.
Thanks.
Okay, who'd like to tell us a little bit? Yeah, go ahead, Aya.
Hello, everybody. I'm Aya. I'm a medical graduate. I'd like to say to Mr. Prezani, well done. His English is really good, and practicing, he'll be better.
Thanks. Thanks. Appreciate what you said.
Yeah, keep on going. You're going the right way.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Good. I'd like to say hi to Dr. Fatima and Safa.
Hello.
I'm a medical graduate as well, and the main purpose of taking IELTS, well, I'm thinking maybe to do a master's, maybe so abroad, UK, maybe Ireland, I don't know. So I'll be needing the IELTS. I've like Dr. Sahib said, I've took the mock test, and I've got good scores at that time, but I think the main difficult part is the writing. It's not easy. The other parts, well, you can do well if you practice. As for teaching, my English, I got it from a long time ago. It's like I was living in Ireland before I came to Libya.
And how long did you?
I've lived in Ireland for 7 years. I do go and come and go before the lockdown and. What, Mr. Fizani?
I said you used to be overseas. That's what you meant, because I didn't hear you what you said.
Yes, I used to live in Ireland because my father was doing his studies there. So yeah,
okay, that's good.
I've lived for 7 years. I've done TEFL on 2014, which is like Safa said, it's like similar to TESOL. I think it's teaching English as foreign language. And I did some
for speakers of other languages. Yeah.
Yeah, so the TEFL is like teaching English as a foreign language.
Foreign language, yes.
So I did part-time teaching here in Libya, private schools, but I think I have a bad experience.
How was your experience teaching here in Libya?
I have a bad experience. It's not with the people who you teach, but I think it's with the ones who are in charge, or the principal, or So you have you didn't like face any problems with students' attitude, like because it's very different from from other countries comparing to Libya. Yes.
Have you studied young generation or or teenager or what? Can you tell us? Can you tell us more about that?
Actually, they were like in 1st to 2nd grade. And once they gave me, I think, 6th grade, but I didn't get along because the boys were kind of cheeky. So, so I prefer teaching young students. Maybe they're more.
For me, actually, I had some experience in teaching Korean students whom age like age 27 and above. I was younger than them. But when I came here to Libya and I started to teach my first time, it was terrible, horrible, like all the bad words. Like it was very bad.
Welcome to Libya.
Yes, exactly. It's not because of the curriculum or because of the, because the students' attitude and the system of the school itself. So it's totally different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, and I just started now my own business and teaching English online just for basic, for like
beginner,
intermediate levels.
That's great.
Good. It's a good business.
That's good. That's good. But I think it's easy to teach. It's easy to teach young generation. It gives you like a confidence. It's I think easily to communicate with them. I don't know what happened with you. I think. What do you like to teach most? Teenager or the young generation?
To be honest, it is difficult to deal with children. It's difficult to deal with teenagers, especially when they are Libyans, because their mentality is totally different from outside. So I prefer to teach adults. So, you know, it's more easy for me, to be honest. But yet, I also like teaching children. Because as you said, whatever I taught them, it will be there. But for adults, they don't care. Actually, they don't go through whatever you taught them.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't have experience with adults, but maybe in the future, I'd like to do something like that, teaching. Teenagers, definitely no, never, not again. The kids, I think, I don't know, it depends on the age that you're going to teach. So
And one more point here in Libya, when you, like the whole lesson you speak in English, they will complain. They will find it difficult for them. They, you know, in some points, they want you to translate it in Arabic. If you didn't do so, they will complain about that. I tried my best to use my body language, to use simple words and all these stuffs, but then, yeah, they find it easy to translate. And maybe because previous teachers, or maybe most of the teachers here in Libya, they use, you know, Libyan language, I mean, a Libyan dialect to translate it. So I found a lot of difficulties in this.
Fatima Ahmed, I think your English is just perfect. And Butterfly, I don't know.
Yeah, Butterfly she's been listening for yeah.
You can join.
Who is Ahmed? We don't have Ahmed, I think.
I think we've all taken over Dr. Saib's class.
No, that's okay. It's good to get the juices flowing. Yeah.
Which one is Ahmed? I don't know. I think she talked about my twin brother that he is in US. I think.
That's a Freudian slip. Someone knows someone. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here we have. Let's give it a little chance. By the way, this topic is very, very interesting. The one about teaching, and I think maybe I'll get you both another time, and I'll try to get some other teachers. Or at least anybody with a teaching experience, like Aya and Safa and others. I'd love to hear from you on your experience on, especially with the differences, the cultural differences, because you mentioned Korea and then Libya and the ages. This is a very interesting topic. I think we need to have this topic. But
Absolutely.
here we
can open our own business.
Yes, why not? We might think of something. Yes, cultural shock. Yeah, we'll talk about cultural shock too. Okay, let's give a chance.
Pardon me, it's like.
Sorry.
Pardon me, but I think when you teach like Korean, you don't have another language to talk with them, to explain to them. You have just English. I think this is my point of view. So I don't know.
This is the teacher challenge here.
Yeah.
How you gonna teach? This is where you're gonna show your skill over here.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what language I mean their own language, their mother tongue. It doesn't matter. What matter is your skill, how you're gonna reach your information to them, and how you let your student understand whatever you are teaching.
Yeah, because they don't share your L1, your first language. They don't share it.
Exactly. It's like a kid. It's starting to learn a new language, like starting to speak. So first they need to listen as much as they can, and after that it comes to a step where they need to speak. And then after this, they have to know how to put these words or vocabularies and all that in a correct structure.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, it's a challenge when the teacher doesn't speak the language of the students.
You said the Korean students were above 27, right?
Yeah,
So
adults.
I
Yeah,
assume, so I assume that they have at least, you know, the minimum knowledge about English. They know at least the basics.
Actually, yeah, they know the basic. I mean, like their level, it's not absolutely beginner. Like their level, it's between elementary and pre-intermediate. So all the basic, they have like just a small talk, few basic vocabulary words. So they still can understand the key words that I'm saying.
Okay, another thing, I just want to say something to Butterfly. Just spread your wings and join in.
Spread your wings and fly, Butterfly. Spread your wings and
Fly high.
Hi everyone. I feel so embarrassing. You speak
No, it's
very
okay.
well.
Just break the ice. As
by the way, before you talk, Butterfly, let me introduce Butterfly for you. She's one of our most faithful and loyal friends, by the way, of the page.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's always there, even before the latest ads, the latest ad I had about the course. She was there, and she was always in the comments and always following the lives. So she's one of the pet students of.
Is she
of
a
Dr.
doctor
Sam.
as well? Because I'm surrounded with like a lot of doctors over here.
No, I am an English teacher.
Oh, okay. You're an English teacher. Okay, so yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome,
okay,
Butterfly.
welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your English and why you wanted to improve your English, and how your interest started, so we can hear all about it.
Okay, I love English language from when I was young, because I like to hear English songs. And when after high school, I go to the university in Darna. I graduate from foreign language department. Then I tried to do the IELTS test in Benghazi twice, I think. But I didn't get the required scores, or you can say I failed because I hadn't the idea how I do this test, and I didn't learn to prepare myself, and I didn't do it. So I follow your good page, Dr. Su, and thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. I don't think you should, fail is probably the right word in this situation, because I think what you said, not getting the required score, this is probably the right expression, because it means that the candidate, the student, is not there yet. This is the idea. Think of it of not reaching your destination rather than failure, because usually failure has a bit of a negative connotation, I think. Yes. I think what you're going through is a normal, because because in Brazil they have a test which is like IELTS, it's called Selbibras. If I did it, I won't pass it. I know I won't. It doesn't mean if I take it, I will fail. It just means I'm not there yet. I need a little more. So this is what you need, just a little more practice, and I'm sure you can get there and get the required score. Inshallah, yes.
Sure.
Best of luck, Butterfly. Nice to hear from you.
What?
I said.
I think your mic is muted, Fatima. We didn't hear you.
Sorry. You hear me, Butterfly?
No, I didn't hear the first sentence.
I'm just wishing you the best of luck.
Okay, thank you. You too.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So we have Rima and Fatma. I think we had Ali, and maybe we bored him too much and he left. Okay, so Rima, tell us a little bit. You were here yesterday and you did some of the reading, sorry. You did some of the reading exercises with us yesterday. Tell us a little bit about your impression, maybe, and the things you want to focus on most in IELTS, why you're here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I think Rima is asleep. Okay, so Rima is not there. Okay, let's, who else? Fatma, would you like to share something? Would you like to talk a little bit about yourself, Fatma? I think Fatma is also a silent observer. Let's see if we can get her to talk. Okay, so Rima and Fatma are not talking. Okay, so never mind. Let's jump to our our speaking part here in the IELTS test. And let me show you what I was talking about earlier. So here, I'm not sure if you can see the screen. I'm sharing the screen right now. So so let's see if you can see it or not. Can you see the screen I'm sharing?
Not yet.
It is still loading.
It's still loading, okay, because I think I've overloaded my computer with too many open folders.
Okay, it's okay now.
Okay, you can see it?
Yes.
Yes, we can see it.
All right, okay, good. So here, let's talk a little bit about speaking. Is it still there? I think I accidentally minimized it.
I think we should give him yesterday's advice, so you can pinch the screen to zoom in. Yeah.
That's Abdurrah's advice. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
Okay, so so here the little tip is, if you're all on your phones, as I assume, I think you're all using your phones. So I'm going to zoom out. So this way you can see the whole page. Okay. So I just zoomed out now. But I want you to zoom in with your fingers, with both fingers, like a double zoom. Just go to part 1.
We can zoom. Yeah.
Yeah, you can zoom, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So I want you to take a look at part 1, and before we read it, let me talk a little bit about it first. Now, let's talk about the speaking in general. Okay, so I'm going to do something which is, let me show you just a second. Okay, so can you see the book?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so that's the point here. So I just wanted, this is one of the teaching, I'm sure maybe Safa and Aya know this. One of the rules of teaching is whenever you want to demonstrate something or point something out, you need to keep the student's attention away from the thing first. So I wanted to talk first about the speaking in general, okay? And then get you to see each part. So very roughly speaking, speaking is 3 parts, okay? So you have part 1, part 2, part 3, okay? The whole thing takes only maybe 15 minutes, 14 minutes max. It doesn't take longer than that. Now, the first part is the easy part. Not easy, it's easier. It's easier than the other 2, okay? Because part 1 is sort of kind of direct questions. They just ask you direct questions. They're not trick questions. They're not difficult. Just answer them as you go, okay? And you shouldn't expand too much in section 1, because they're general questions. They ask you about your country, your neighborhood, your job, your
personal questions.
Personal questions, your education, this kind of thing. It's very general. Now, task 2 is a bit different. With task 2, they give you a card, and on this card is a group of questions, and it's revolving around a certain topic, okay? This card, they will ask you to talk about this experience. It's always an experience of something that you've experienced or something that happened to you in the past. So it's always about the past. This is fixed with task 2. It's always something about the past. So they give you something, maybe it's a party you attended, maybe a country you visited, maybe a city you lived in, maybe a job you had, some kind of thing. You need to talk about 4 questions, or let's call them sub-questions in this card, and they call it the long go, because you need to keep talking for about a minute, maybe 2 minutes, without stopping. So it's part 1 is less intimidating than part 2. Yeah, that's exactly right, Fatima. Yes. So it's straightforward. Task 1, it's not intimidating. It's just, you just answer as you go. It's not complicated. Task 2, for some people, task 2 is harder than even task 3, although in my opinion, the difficulty of 3 is more than 2. But for some people, 2 is more difficult just for the fact that you have to keep talking. It's a 2-in-1 test in part 2. Part 2, it tests your fluency and it tests your grammatical control of the past tense. Because I don't know if you've noticed this, especially and Safa, I think, or anyone who's taught before, the lower the level of someone, the harder it is to keep track of the tense you're using. So for example, if you're talking to an advanced student and he's talking about something in the past, it's easy for him or her to always keep using the past tense. But for someone in elementary, for example, whenever you tell them to talk about the past, about yesterday, they will start maybe the first verb in the past, the second verb in the past, and then he switches automatically to the present tense. So task 2 in writing, in speaking, part 2 of the speaking exam in IELTS, it tests your fluency. Are you able to hold a monologue for 2 minutes? And 2 minutes is a really long time when you have to do it on your own. So it's not as easy as it sounds. So you need to do between 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, a monologue. And this monologue shouldn't be random. It should cover the key points in the card they give you. And of course, before you talk, they give you 1 minute. And during this 1 minute, you can prepare highlights or keywords. Some points. And this 1 minute is crucial. It's super important, because if you don't do this, you will lose thread of your ideas during the 2 minute run, and you'll start. Yes, that's right. Yes. Like Fatma said, yes, you need to start building up ideas in 1 minute and then put them as nicely and accurately as possible, proficiency-wise. Yes, yeah. So this is the basically task 2. After that, the examiner, he or she, will ask you a couple of follow-up questions about the topic, and then they'll move to part 3. Now, part 3 are more hypothetical, theoretical, sort of situational questions. What would you do if? What do you think about that? And these questions you'll find yourself using. I would have, if it's something in the past, I would, or in my opinion, I think. So they're more, you need to imagine yourself as a TV show presenter or some kind of news anchor or something like this. You need to philosophize a little bit. This is basically, or a political analyst on CNN. You need to imagine yourself as something like that, because you need to express your opinion with detail. And remember, in the speaking test, I always tell students and candidates who are doing the test, there is no wrong answer in speaking. Lie as much as you want. And we're Libyans. Lying is a natural skill. It's not too hard for us to lie. So just lie. Lie as much as you can, as much as you want. Make up stories as you go. It's not a factual test. They will not check the information you say. They'll not do a background check on you. You can lie all you want. Okay. So as long as you're making sense, this is very important. As long as you're making sense, it's fine. It doesn't matter what kind of information you're saying. So you need to be able to give detail. So what's a wrong answer in speaking, in IELTS speaking? A wrong answer is a short answer. It needs imagination, not merely making up lies. yes, you need to be imaginative, I think. Maybe there is a bit of an imagination element in it. So this is a rough sort of outline of the speaking test. So now I'm going to take you back to see the specific questions here. So we can do a little bit of practice, and we can maybe go through them one by one. Okay, so let's start with the first task. So here we have task 1. Sorry, or part 1.
Part 1, yes.
Yeah, part 1. Okay, so it says here the examiner asks the candidate about himself or herself, his home, her home, work, or study. Okay, so they'll tell you, the examiner usually will say, hello, my name is John, Suhaib, Nadia, whatever. And they'll tell you, can I see your passport? They'll take, what's your name? You'll tell your name to the examiner. They'll check your passport. He'll tell you, can I see your passport? They'll check your passport, give it back. This is how it goes. And then they'll probably start with this group of questions. This is just an example. They'll tell you, what games are popular in your country and why? Okay, let's give these questions a try. Let's give these questions to, let's see. Maybe someone is back here. I think someone entered the room. So we have Aya, and we have Butterfly. Rima, are you there? Maybe Rima can talk now. Still missing in action, MIA. Okay, still not there. Okay, anytime you want to join in, feel free. No pressure, just saying.
Yeah.
All
Just
right.
me, I think.
Okay, go ahead.
Vanished.
Go ahead. No, the others are silently listening. I know they're, because they were talking earlier, but just
they are shy. I think they are shy, or they don't know.
Yeah. No, we are not. It's just that we want to give a chance for someone else.
Yeah. They're considerate. They're not shy. They're considerate. Okay, let's give section 1 to Fizania. Okay, let's see. I think
it's the easiest part that you have given to me, so but it's okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, I think
I'll ask the question. I'll ask the
examiner. So I'm the examiner and you're the candidate, right?
Sure. Okay, you can ask me if you want. Go ahead.
No, sorry. You are the candidate. I'm just kidding with you.
Okay, I can model an answer I would give later, just to contrast. For example, let's do it and then we can switch. Okay, I'll ask you, and then what I'll do, I'm going to steal your answers and try to make them better. Maybe I'll try this. Okay. All right. Okay, I'll start. So, what games are popular in your country?
I think the most popular in my country is football. I have no doubt that say the other game, especially that I love the basketball, as you know, so but it's the most popular is the football.
Why is that?
I think why is that? You ask about my country or you about the whole wide world?
No. Why is it's here. Keep in mind, you shouldn't answer a question with a question. Unless you're really out of answers, maybe you can ask for clarification. But generally speaking, it's not good advice, I think. But here, and to answer your question, Fizani, I think they're speaking. Why is it popular in your country? This is the question. Why is football popular? By the way, why and why not? Keep it in the back of your mind. Yes.
I don't know. Even in Arabic, I don't know why. I think there's no reasonable answer. I can't tell you why it's the most popular.
Okay,
maybe Mike
say this
because of the. I don't know. There's no strong reason, and there's no reasonable reason I can give you, to be honest with you.
Okay, this is a good answer. Just make it detailed. Even your why, if you don't want to say no, just make it long. So that's a good answer. Okay, do you play any games?
Yeah, but I play basketball. I used to play basketball.
Okay, why do you play basketball?
Because I love this game, first of all, and it's joinable games. It gives you a nice health. It's entertainment. It's exciting. A lot of stuff.
Okay, and how do people learn to play games in your country?
I think some of them, and if you speak about the football, especially about the football, it's easily, you can go to park, you can go to courts, wherever. But if the other game, maybe they have specific places that you have to visit.
That's true. It's
Okay.
a simple game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You can play it in streets as well.
What that is?
Yeah, I agree on what you've said, Fizani, Mr. Fizani.
Yes.
I said it's a simple game. You know, you don't need much to gear up to play that game. You can play it, you know, in streets. You know,
yeah, about the yes, you're speaking about the football, huh? Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yes. That's why I think it's so popular. You know, all what you need is to kick the ball, and the game is already started.
And actually, also the budget plays a role here in playing football in Libya. It's not expensive to play to buy a ball. So maybe one of the reason why it's popular, maybe, and they used to males play it since they entered the schools here. So they just throw the ball and ask them to play. This is what they usually do in the free time between the classes.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I just lost the file. Just a second, give me a
Still
second.
here.
You can see it? Okay, good.
Yeah,
okay,
you can
okay.
see it.
Okay, can someone ask Fizani the last question, please? Because I've lost my screen here.
Can I go?
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, I'm ready.
Okay, do you think it's important for people to play games?
Yeah, they have to play games, especially the sports, like to keep in shape, to keep in fit, to lots of stuff. I can't explain one thing, but they have to.
Okay, so you mean that they need to play so that they keep in their figure. I mean, to work in their figure.
Yeah,
on
to
their
keep
figure.
fit, stay healthy, lots of things.
All right.
Nice.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about Fizani's answers. Okay, in my opinion, they're good for one reason, that they're long. This is the most important thing in the IELTS exam. Giving details.
Yeah.
And you could have made it even better by automatically answering the why or why not, without even letting him answer, without even letting him ask you, because these questions are already they're already included, they're already part of the question. You need to give a reason for whatever you say, the reason why you do this or why you don't do this. So there's always an automatic why.
Sorry for interrupting. I'd like to ask you,
Go ahead.
like you've asked me about why is football is the most popular in your country. I told you, even in Arabic, there's no specific answer that I can't tell you why it's the most popular. So in that case, what should I do, or what I should the examiner, what he said? He stopping me, correcting me. He can't give me a mark. He will not give me a mark. You have to tell us. Sorry.
Okay, good, very good question. This is an excellent question, actually. The thing is, in a real test, the examiner will not give you words. He will try to maybe encourage you, or maybe nod their head or give you some kind of gesture to keep going. They might do this, but normally speaking, they will not give you words. They will not put words in your mouth. So you need to talk about this. The thing is, always keep in mind that the IELTS test is, again, it's not a factual test. This is a very, very important a point, and many people forget this. And the reason we forget this is because of our school experience, because everything we did in school was factual. Whatever you wrote was going to be checked against some kind of model answer. So if you say there are 6 continents in the world and there are 7 continents, you made a factual mistake, you will get a bad mark in geography. This is how we learned in school. So we are already programmed of thinking. This is our natural programming. We're thinking of what's the right thing. There is no right thing here. That's the beauty of the IELTS test. It's a very open test. It's a language test. So even if you don't know, I loved what you did, Fizani, when you said that I have no particular reason, I don't have a reasonable answer for this, and you started analyzing, you started explaining. This is a good IELTS answer. It's a very bad factual answer, maybe, but for IELTS, it's an excellent answer because you talked, you showed your control of language, and this is what they want. They want to see how well do you control your English language? How well can you say no? What synonyms can you use? Are you able to discuss subtle ideas? This is how they grade you. The more you speak, the easier you make the examiner's job. And this translates to more marks because you're exposing exposing maybe is a negative connotation, but you're showing your capabilities here.
Dr. Suhail.
Yes.
In other words, you're saying that they are not testing your general knowledge, right?
No, they don't care about your knowledge. Yes.
Yeah, not your English, but your skills. English or of English, right?
Yes, they're interested. They're only interested in your language. They don't care about your knowledge. They don't care about your facts. That's why
you said you can make up lies and
But this means you need to also develop your sort of imagination muscles as well. You need to be able to think of things on the spot. It's a bit of a theatrical skill. You need to be able to have this.
Dr. Suhaib, I have a question. So when you say that they are focusing in your language, do they actually focus in the word that you are using? So do they want us to use long, complicated words, or it doesn't matter for them? It's as far as you are so fluent when you are speaking.
Okay, now this is the question of complicated words. Now, this is also a very important point because there's something in English called being concise. Now, in English, and also in Arabic, by the way, in Arabic, there's a famous expression when we say ma qalla wa dal, right? So in English, there is a bit of the same thing. Being concise.
The less you say, the less.
Yeah, if you can say the same thing using 5 words instead of 10 words, the 5 words is better. Because the examiner can spot when you're using fillers, when you're using unnecessary fillers. This is being inconcise. Concise meaning here precise. Concise means using less to mean more. So and also the complicated word, because sometimes it's about the suitability of a word in a certain, the connotation of the word and the collocation of the word. Can you use this with this? So can you substitute desk with table all the time? Most of the time you can't, even though they're almost the same thing. So sometimes it's not an issue of using a more complicated or a simpler word. It's an issue of is this word awkward? This is the problem. Because sometimes the word is awkward when you translate it from your original language. If you use it in English, it's a little awkward. It's like saying drink tea or drink. I like to drink tea in the morning. I like to drink coffee. This is complete.
So as far as I'm using a correct grammar structure and a correct, like just a simple kind of words that I'm still inside the topic. I'm not going out of the topic, and I'm still in the back, right? So correct. I don't need to complicate myself and like study a lot of complicated words to answer their questions.
No, I don't think so, no. Because remember, with IELTS, it's a reflection of what you already have. That's the thing. So if you had an option between choosing a simpler, more natural thing to say and a more complicated, made-up thing, It's better to stick with the more natural thing. Because here again, with my example, when I said drink coffee, drink tea, for us, drink coffee, drink tea, no, because this is how we say it in Arabic. نشرب شاي, نشرب قهوة. This is how, this is what, in English, this is awkward. In English, they don't say drink coffee. We say have coffee, have tea. Do you see the difference?
Doesn't make it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a little strange. It's a little awkward. They will understand what you're saying, but that's not what a native would say. A native would always use have for drinking and eating. Have a sandwich, have a break, have a cup of tea. For us, we will say drink or eat. So these are little things that the examiner will be hearing very, very carefully. Also, before the lesson ends, I'm going to show you the criteria of how, because there's a public version of the criteria. This is what they will mark you for in your speaking or even in your writing. There are certain criteria: vocabulary range, grammatical accuracy. There are two others, I think. I'll try to find it and talk about it.
Sorry, I just want to add something.
Mm-hmm.
Regarding those sophisticated, highly specific words, I think using them in the writing part is more valuable and more advisable, right?
That's it. Using them in the right place.
Is more informal, I think. Then, they're more relaxed.
True, because spoken language is a little less formal than written language in general. Because spoken language and written language are very, very different. By the way, they're not, I'm sure you already know this, they're very different skills. And the language you use in speaking is probably the language you've been using more than the language you've been using in writing. So
for instance, you can use phrasal verbs while you're speaking. In the IELTS exam, but not in the writing test.
That's correct, yes. The level of formality is a little less in speaking. Okay, now what about part 2? Let's talk a little bit about part 2. Would someone else like to do part 1 before we move on? Or maybe we can give each person a question. This way we can give each person a chance to answer one of the questions.
Yeah, maybe you can ask us.
Okay. I'll ask in turns and then each one can do a question. Okay, so
you're going to ask us about the part 1?
Yeah, just one question each, just so we can get people talking, and then we can do part 2, because part 2, or I have a better idea. Let's skip part 1 because it's obvious, I think. Let's give a chance for each one of you maybe to do part 2. It's better this way we don't waste too much time in part 1. Now with part 2, let's read the instructions first, because part 2 I want each one of you to do it. Okay, so the instruction says you will have to talk about the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. So again, this is the monologue part. So this is the long run. You need to be able to talk for about 2 minutes without interruption. Just give me a second because I'm okay now. Okay, perfect. Okay, let me get back. All righty. So here you need to speak about this topic for 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can make some notes to help you if you wish. My advice, guys, is to use a notepad. They will give you, by the way, they'll give you paper, pencil, everything. But you need to write at least a word. So first of all, let's practice this part first together. Let's practice making a good note, okay? And I'm going to actually time you. Do you have, by the way, do you have pencils and papers in front of you? I doubt you do, but do you? Does anyone have a pencil and paper?
Yes.
Okay, so only one. Aya, just Aya? That's okay, so Fatma doesn't like part 2 very much. Okay, if you have a pencil nearby, that's okay. If you don't, it's a bit difficult to type while you're holding your phone, I think. Never mind. Let's do it orally, okay? So here what we want to do is we want to prepare words. I happen to have a pen in front of me, and let's see if we have some paper. All right, so I have a paper here. So let's use the timer, and let's see. I have a pencil. Okay, great. All right, so here Butterfly has a pencil and pen. Okay, so let's start our 1 minute, and at the count of 3, 2, 1, we are going to start writing, and then when I tell you to stop, you need to stop writing. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, stop. Who managed to write something useful? I did.
Me too, I hope.
Okay. Okay, so great. That's good news. Okay, so let's see, for those who prepared some notes, let's see what you have, and let's hear your answer. Again, I'm going to time you so you can speak for 2 minutes. Maybe not 2 full minutes, but I'd expect you to complete 2 minutes. And it should be, like I said, a monologue where you speak without interruption, okay? So let me just go back to the clock here on the laptop. Okay, so who'd like to go first?
Me?
Okay, so Aya, go ahead. So you can start. 3, 2, go.
I enjoy shopping from street markets. They're usually located near the roundabout on the street on the way home. They would sell like vegetables and fruits. It's a small market, and the farmer, usually the one who planted the fruit or the vegetable, would be selling it. So I enjoy interacting with him. He would tell me how to plant it and how to take care of it, so maybe I can plant it in my home as well. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I've run out of answers now.
Okay, you only did 40 seconds.
Oh my God, that's bad.
Yeah. You needed to talk a lot more.
Okay. The market is small. He'd usually sell the fruits or vegetables from his truck. I don't know. I enjoy shopping for fruits and because I like eating healthy stuff. Okay, I think you're gonna stop.
Okay. I think 2 minutes are about over. Yeah, go ahead. Take a turn. Yeah.
Okay, I would like to start with
sorry,
the first
Safa.
point.
Let me just wait until it's hits the. Okay, you can go now.
All right. I would like to start with the first point, which is where the market is. Actually, it is in Malaysia. It runs on every Saturday between like 6 p.m. to 2 p.m. And this market sells just about everything you want in a market, like such as a range of garden fresh vegetables and fruits, and also flowers and a unique collection of like first-hand and second-hand clothes. Going to the third question, which is how big the market is. The market is not very big, actually. There are about like 10 to 12 settles, I guess. And most of the settles are covered under the, what we call it as a canopy of a gained fig tree, like that kind of, I don't know if you know it. And I love to visit this market on every Saturday with my friends. Actually, why? Because we will sit on a picnic blanket and enjoy a cup of fresh coffee. But for me, I like to have a tea and watch live performing artists. Sometimes they are making some performance there under the shade of the tree. And I wanted to add also, I also enjoy the banter and, advice of the settleholds from all over the countries. And yeah, I think this is all the questions, and explain why you enjoy. Yeah.
Okay.
How many minutes left?
Okay, you did it in about, this is now 2 minutes. You finished 2 minutes.
Okay.
Which is okay.
Yeah, all right.
We'll talk a little bit about your answer in a bit, in a minute too. But let's see the other guys. Okay. Who else would like to go ahead? We have Fatma, I think. Fatma, and also Rima, the silent observer, and I think Fazani maybe slept or something.
Dr. Suhaib.
Yes?
Before I start, I have a question, okay?
Go ahead.
It's more like, okay. When I took the preparation course, my piece of advice, she told me that when they ask you the part 2 question, start acting surprised when you answer, like, well, that's a good question. Don't start right away answering the question. At least you got my point, right?
Yes, I got your point. It's good advice, to be honest. It's good advice. The idea is here, what she's trying to get you to do is intonation. They want you to sound excited. They want
like
you
warming
to
up,
Yeah, they want you to be. It's like you have to imagine it like a conversation with your friend. It has to sound natural. It shouldn't sound like an interrogation. Yeah. So this is good advice. Yes, you should put on a little bit of some theatricals.
And also, should I answer the question by saying, okay, regarding the question number 1, or regarding the why part, the what part, the when part, is it correct to say that, or just be fluent and more natural?
This was part of the feedback. I wanted to do the feedback in general after you all took your parts. Then I wanted to discuss each part separately. But what you said, since you brought it up, you're right. You shouldn't say what you're answering. It should be a monologue without saying part 2, part 3, without saying why, without saying. It should be
more like a conversation, not an interrogation, as you said.
Yeah. And it should be, like I said, like you're telling. Imagine your friend is on the phone, and you're telling your friend everything you did on your last vacation, and your friend is just listening, and you're just go, we went there, and after that, and it was so cool, and so it's the same thing. You need to do something like this.
And I think I got the question wrong, because I thought it's like an open air space, not an open air market. So I thought about the Fursiya. Okay. So I built my ideas, according to that misconception.
No, they wanted the street market. The same thing for me, because I didn't read.
Okay, I prepared. Doesn't make a difference, right?
make a difference. I prepared
No, I mean, in
Mahari.
this situation, it doesn't make a difference. Yeah.
But you have to change the Furusiya and make it some kind of open market. Do you
But
get
I
the
don't
idea?
like market.
You have to lie. You have to say you like
I
them.
don't like. Okay, I'm not prepared now because I thought
Okay.
it's an open airspace, you know, or
No. Okay, let's see someone else. You can give you can have a minute to prepare new ideas, and let's see if
keep me
someone
to
else.
the last.
Yeah, no problem. Let's see. So it does. Who else do we have? We have 6 people here, but we only have 3 people. Let's see who's here. We have. Okay, we forgot butterfly. Would you like to? Rima also is still asleep. Okay, butterfly. Would you like to try this question?
Okay, but I didn't prepare the answer. Good answer.
You didn't?
I didn't prepare an answer. So
okay.
difficult for me because there is no open shopping here or market, open air markets.
There isn't. I think there is probably any vegetable market or any of these. I think it's okay. Fizani is gone. I think he would have enjoyed this part.
Okay, I'll try another time.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so let me do this, even though I prepared, because I didn't read open air, or I didn't even read the headline of the question. I just read the second part. So I prepared the Mahari, but I'm going to switch it as if it's open. So now I'm going to show you my lying skills. You'll see how good a liar I am. Okay, so let's start this and let's see. Let's see the time. Okay, so I'm going to.
Well, one has to time you as well.
Yeah, I was about to time myself, but you could time me. Go ahead.
Okay.
If someone can time me, and when the seconds hit 0, just let me know, or 30 or whatever, so you could.
Is the duration for the class 1 hour or more than that?
It's 2 hours. These
2 hours. Okay.
These 3 lessons, I think, are just sort of random, but I think we hit 2 hours already. But for the regular classes for our students, they're 2 hours every other day. So 3 days a week, 2 hours.
Okay.
Okay, should I start or not yet?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, so
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so the market I'd like to tell you about is a very interesting market, and it's one of the markets which very few people actually know in Tripoli. It's mostly visited by foreigners, and I was told about it from an expat friend of mine. And the market it's in the middle of Tripoli, but like I said, it's in a spot that's not really well known. The locals call it Mahari, but it's also known as Sugatlat for the foreigners who live nearby. Now, what's special about this market is the things you can buy there. There's absolutely nothing you won't find there. Some people joke and they say you can find everything from a needle to a rocket. And I sort of agree with this, because last time I went there and I was able to find pets, and I was able to buy a little goldfish, and I also bought a few things for my laptop. I was able to get a battery. And the thing is, this market is so big, and it's very strange that very few people know about it. And I think maybe this could be a good thing, because this has kept the prices down for so long. I think the one of the big advantages of having a market like this that's big and cheap at the same time, in addition to the fact that it's quite unknown, is it keeps the prices down, and this is a plus that you won't find in regular department stores or in malls. And another thing is mingling with the locals, because every time you go there, you see new faces, you see people who are coming from all over the country, and this human element, it changes the experience, and you come in to buy an item and you go back home with a new experience. So this is definitely a market.
Your time is up.
I'd recommend. Okay, so that was very, so that was very random, and I sort of mixed up. It's like a scary nightmare. I mixed Sugatlat, I mixed it with Subijuma and Mahari at the same time, and there were parts which I didn't prepare.
It sounds like
well.
Crimea.
Yeah, it's a bit like Crimea. Yes, it's a mix. It's a mix of everything. Yes, and it doesn't even exist. There is no place like this, I think. And it's cheap and it's huge, but it's unknown. And so the thing is, they don't really care as long as you're able to hold your talk and you're able to talk about it. It's fine by them. This is the general idea. So you need to be imaginative. You need to talk. That's what they want you to do. Okay, so if someone who hasn't done part 2, if they want to do part 2, maybe Fatma or who else? We have Rima. She's asleep. And Butterfly said another time. Would you like to go ahead, Fatma? If you want to, it's okay. If you don't, we can go to part 3. Okay, I think she's also asleep. So let's go to part 3. Okay, Fatma. I can't hear you.
She's not here.
The mic, it's unmuted, but we can't hear him.
Only Dr. Fatma's here.
Can you hear Dr. Fatma? Can you hear her?
Mudding up that question with
Okay, muddling up that question with Al-Furasiya just. Yeah. Okay, so she's not in the mood to do. Never mind. That's okay. Let's jump to part 3 now. Now remember, part 3 has the advantage of part 2, which is question answer, right? So maybe this is a little easier than part 2, because some people don't like the format of part 2, of being stuck with talking on your own. So part 3 might make it a little easier, so you get a chance to think about the question. Okay, so who'd like? Okay, so fast, since you're unmuted, you can be our first volunteer.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you the question, and then I'll see your answer. Okay. So we're still discussing markets, because part 2 and part 3 are always related. It's always the same topic. Okay. So now part 3. Do people in your country enjoy going to open-air markets that sell things like food or clothes or old objects?
Okay, I think yes, the people in my country, they love to visit the open market, or let me call it as bazaar. And why they love going there? Because usually, let me say, bazaar in Ramadan, they usually find the food over there and they just grab their food and go back and break their fast.
And which type of market is more popular? The ones that sell food, or the ones that sell clothes or old objects?
Usually the market, you will find these 3 in one place. So they are not separated. But the most popular one, I think, is food, like vegetable. The people, like, you know, the market that they are selling vegetables and fruits, like a fresh one.
Okay. Do you think markets are more suitable places for selling certain types of things?
Yes, they are, if they are in the right place, I mean. And usually all the open markets are free. I mean, not free, I mean, they are very cheap.
Okay, which items do you think are more suitable for selling in open-air markets?
I think not clothes, maybe accessories, like, you know, the the traditional thing of the countries, like traditional accessories, traditional jewelries. I think it's the nice place to sell.
Why do you think so?
In open market. Why I think so? Because, you know, usually the jewelries and accessories, you don't find it, I mean, you will find it a lot in malls or any other like normal shops. But when it comes for shops and malls, it's very expensive for girls. I mean, I am a female. It's very expensive for me to go to the mall and buy such a thing, like these kind of things. But when it comes to the market, maybe it's the second hand, or maybe it is you know, a handmade. It's more cheaper than going to other markets, to other malls, other shops.
All right. Do you think,
this is my opinion,
do you think young people feel the same about shopping at markets as older people?
To be honest, in now's generation, they are not, especially girls, because, you know, since it is in a day, you look, I mean, it's in the morning or maybe even afternoon. Usually, you know, because of the sun, they are like taking care of their skin and all this stuff. So I don't think they like it.
All right.
I think so.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
you know, when it comes for men, I think, yeah, they do like it more than malls on.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So these are very interesting answers, and I can see that you've already started with the imagination, and you're thinking more sort of laterally, which is exactly what we want in the IELTS exam, which is great. I think the answers are very nice. Okay, what about the second section here? Let's see if someone would like to volunteer, because we're sort of running out of time, so I'd like someone to do the second part here, shopping in general. Maybe Aya or Fatma could do the last part, shopping in general. Who would like to volunteer? One of you could volunteer.
Do you think?
Okay.
Okay.
Fatima. Fatima can go, not me.
Fatima
she wants to.
is quiet. I think she's traumatized by
Okay,
part 2.
I'll take it then.
Okay, so I'll ask you the questions.
Dr. Suhaib.
Yeah.
Dr. Suhaib.
Uh-huh.
Do you know something called the writer block, or the writer's block?
Writer's block.
Oh.
now I'm having the speaker block.
You're having a speaker block.
Speaking block.
The speaker block.
Yeah, it's normal. I think it's also natural, part of the process. It's okay, no problem, no worries. You've talked a lot today. I think you've used all of your speaking skills. You've run out.
That's good for a start. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I could hold the torch for you, and she could get rid of the last questions. Okay, I'm going to ask you.
Take up the mantle. Take up the mantle.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what she did.
I'm finding this really difficult, but I hope I'll do well.
All right then. So I'll ask you the questions and try to also think in a maybe in a atypical way, in some kind of what Safa did was
outside
very,
of the box.
Yeah, out of the box, a bit like what Safa did would be good. Okay, so let's start. What do you think the advantages of buying things from shops rather than markets?
Well, first of all, shops would be cleaner, and everything would be in its place, like organized. Like you'd find, for example, like kids' clothes in an area or in the first floor, and then like men's in the second floor. So everything would be well organized. I don't think that open air markets, like everything would be put on the street. It wouldn't be organized as like the shops would be.
All right. And how does advertising influence what people choose to buy?
Social media right now, it has a lot of influence. So on people, like for example, if there was a sale in summer season, they'd put low prices, and that would like encourage people to go to a specific shop and buy.
Do you think this is true for everyone?
What do you mean? Like, I didn't get that. What is this true for everyone?
Do you think the influence of advertising, is it true for everyone?
Yes, I think for the shops, yes, it certainly help them in selling their goods. But for the markets, I don't think so.
Okay. Do you think that any recent changes in the way people live and have affected general shopping habits?
Well, since the lockdown, everyone's inside, so like they'll be checking their social media, the face. So I think shopping habits now have changed online. Some people would prefer like to go out and shop, and I don't know, better than just maybe buying online would have a disadvantage, not finding your size, or it won't fit you after you buy it. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, the last, no, your answers are pretty good. The only part is the last question. You had sort of a golden chance to talk and extrapolate and you know, give more details, but you just sort of cut yourself short, because especially with the yeah,
I was trying to think, but it just didn't come up.
yeah, because the when you switch to shopping online, the corona pandemic, the staying at home, the quarantine, the lockdown, all of this, you could have made some very good analysis. So maybe a little more details would have been fine. But generally speaking, perfect. I think that's good. So here today is just sort of we didn't do as much practice as we normally do in a full course, of course, but at least we got a little idea, or we got.
It's totally different when you're when you're stressed out and you're nervous. So it's like you need to do more practice.
Yeah, sure. We need to do more practice,
yeah.
And we also have next time I'll try to show you. I'll try to show you some videos.
Why are you envying us, Fatima? You're so good too.
Yeah, because
you've got the vocabulary.
She's got speakers blocked now. She can't talk. Yeah. So the thing is, I'll try next time if we're doing speaking, whether it's a random free lesson or whether it's part of the course. We'll try to cover maybe some examples of because I have samples of band 7 students speaking, band 5 students candidates speaking, and band 8, I think, or 9. So we have examples from different band scores, and this is really interesting. So if we do get to speaking again, I'd like to show you the videos so you can have a chance to see each one of them, or maybe even send you the links and as an assignment or something, and talk in detail about them. So maybe you could do that, so you can see the difference between a band score 6, 7, 8, 9, how each one is. Of course, each one is better than the other, but what makes a band score candidate 6 and what makes them 7? And you'll see the small differences. Okay, Fatma says, I had a chance to brush up on my English, which is good, thank you. Thanks for everyone. Okay, thank you all. Okay, so so unfortunately we come to the end of today's lesson. Thank you for being here, and thanks for the time, and thanks for sharing and talking about your background and talking about your English and how you learned and all about that. It was good to hear about that. And if you have any questions before we get to the question form, I think I told Aya about this, but you could all go to the page and go to the settings, to the following settings, and what you need to do is you need to change the following option instead of default, make it see first. This way you could see all the the latest post I post. So whenever there's a new post, it will show up automatically on your feed. So you could do that to make sure that you pick up any posts, any news, any free lessons, so you could see it first. I think that might help. Okay, so we have a few people chatting here. So Butterfly is saying,
Thank you so much, Dr. Suhaib. It's been so nice being a part of this lesson, actually.
Yes, it was nice having you too, Safa. Good to have you here.
Thank you so much.
And if you enjoyed the lesson, Safa, feel free to send me a message on the page inbox if you have any questions about how the course works, or if you want to know more about it. That would be, I'd love to tell you more about this. And also, if you enjoyed this lesson, feel free to leave me a review. I would also definitely appreciate that a lot. If you could just write in whatever you felt and whatever was your impression about this lesson, I definitely appreciate that. And the same for, I think, Fatima. Also, I'd love if you could leave a few words, a bit of a, think of it as a confession. You're going to church and you're confessing to the world. So think of it as a confession or a testimony. Just leave a few words. I definitely, of course, appreciate it.
Inshallah.
And if you have any questions also, please ask any question you have. I don't know when the next random or the next free one, the next free IELTS lesson is, but for people who are subscribed like Aya, the schedule will be fixed tomorrow. So tomorrow I announce the fixed schedule for the upcoming month. So for those who've already subscribed in the next month, so they know exactly when their lessons are. And of course, they're like in the ad, 2 hours every other day until the month is over. And then you're free if you want another month. That's good. If you don't, that's fine as well. So this is how it roughly works. Okay, so I've I think covered all my points. If you have any questions, if anybody has a question, it's now or never. Anyone has something to say or something to ask, feel free.
Dr. Sahib, I just want to say thank you, and thanks to the girls and Fizdani.
Yeah.
I think he signed out, right?
Yeah, he's out. Yeah, I don't know where he.
Okay.
Yeah. Fizdani is one of my good friends and old students. He's a very interesting guy.
Yeah, and he's very talkative, mashallah.
Yeah, he's very, very talkative. Yeah.
And before this class ends, I have a question. Actually, it's out of the topic. It's not about IELTS, but I saw that you are giving, you are giving courses on other levels in English. I saw it in your page. Could I know which curriculum are you using?
Is this for me or for the girls?
Yeah, it's for you. It's for you. It's for you.
For me, most of the courses, especially the lower levels, most of them are face-to-face. From what I've noticed, face-to-face in the lower levels, elementary, pre-intermediate A and B, intermediate not so much, but the first levels, it's really nice, it's straightforward. even for you as teachers, by the way, I recommend you use it, Safa and Aya.
I mean, the curriculum, are you using a specific one, or you are just like randomly picking some topics and you have like a list of syllable that you are following?
No, I try to stick with face-to-face, Cambridge face-to-face. This is the curriculum I'm using.
Cambridge face-to-face, okay.
Yeah, it's a good book for lower
thank
levels.
you so much.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh. And
Okay.
I can find it online?
You can find it online, yes. It's not legal, but you can find it. You can download it, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome, you're welcome. Okay then, so I think everybody said their part.
Thank you, Dr. Stu, and thank you to everyone.
You're welcome, Aya, you're welcome. I'll see you soon, and stay tuned, Aya, for the schedule, for the IELTS schedule.
Yeah, tomorrow, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay.
Okay then, bye-bye everyone. See you soon.
Okay, good night.
Good night.